Money, money, I love that money, 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 money. You don't really wanna play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Keep playing with this goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. A lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud.
Crank it up, Pedro.
Winston from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Little wobbly pass and it's picked. Intercepted by Cole Holcomb.
Jameis Winston has protection here, and he's got Alvin Kamara coming underneath. He goes over the top. Hill is open. He just underthrows.
One heavy drive. This will be the 8th play. Heineke faking. More play action. Firing and finds his man. It's McLaurin. A picture-perfect pass.
Creating space and getting matchups that they like.
Winston, feeling the pressure, football is loose. It is picked up by Deron Payne.
Really needed production from Chase Young. Watch him come inside, power move.
2nd and 17. They do indeed snap it. Heineke again. Pocket starts to money. Here comes Heineke. Off and running. Sliding very close to that first down marker. Here is Gibson. And he's in. Touchdown. All the pieces that they have in that defense. Play action from Heineke. Fires. Beautiful pass. DeAndre Carter on the catch. Mario Davis, who has been a linchpin of this Saints defense, in on the tackle with Warner. 3rd and long. Heineke's pass is caught. Incredible. Ricky Seals-Jones walking a tightrope. He is dealing with a hamstring injury, and his return is questionable. Winston buried. Deron Payne driving Winston into the turf.
Thought about going to Taylor Heineke in the offseason and making him the starter after that playoff game.
Heineke's got his chance here. Pocket starts to collapse. He'll throw on the run. Completes. Far side. It is a completion. Nicely done by Dax Milne. One play called. Gibson. Little stutter step. Look at Gibson. Inside Saints territory, his first big run. Finally run out of bounds by Demario Davis.
Left arm on his shoulder.
And it turns out to be a 4-yard penalty, but it is 1st and 10. Heineke's pass, perfect. Locates Humphreys. Can't do it much better than that. You like this?
I think you should punt it here.
A lot of time left. Heineke delivers wide open. 1st down, Washington. As we cross the 8-minute mark. Gibson. No signal yet. Touchdown.
But a nigga stand out. Watch out how you really walk up to me. That's a man down.
That's right. It's week 6, NFL, Washington football team, 2-3, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, 2-3 also. Both of these teams coming off of bad losses. Might as well say Kansas City lost to Buffalo, Washington lost to New Orleans. Both of these teams are bottom of the league in defense. Both of the teams' offenses are ranked in the top, not top, well, the upper half of the Kansas City's top. Washington is about the middle of the pack with the offense. So uh, this is definitely going to be a test for this Washington football team. Welcome, as always, Sports OTHP, CP3 coming to you live from the lab. Uh, yeah, this is going to be a tough one, especially coming off a game that they should have won against New Orleans, one of the against a team that point blank is probably going to be upset after the way they lost to Buffalo last week. So they're going to, definitely be out here looking to make a point. And with the Washington football team defensive struggles with blown coverages, miscommunications, and wide open players running down the field, this could get ugly very quickly, just like in the Buffalo game. But as I mentioned last week, I talked to a couple of my sources at the park, and apparently the defense and Jack Del Rio had I'm not going to say a heated discussion, but they sat down and trying to iron some things out. And from what I heard, we should see more blitzes. Hopefully, should see more man coverage and not as much zone. And hopefully, you won't see any blown coverages and miscommunications in the secondary because Kansas City does not need any help on the offensive side of the ball. And I put out a tweet earlier in the week. I was going back looking at film of last year's defense as opposed to this year's defense. And only things that I noticed, the subtractions of Ryan Kerrigan. And I mean, he didn't play as many snaps, but when he did get in, you can, his veteran leadership on that defense, even being on the sideline or on the field, definitely, I feel, helped this team last year. The defense is young, and now with, John Bostic gone for the season, he was one of the veteran presence on the defense. This defense is pretty young. So, and the second thing that I noticed was, we've talked about Landon Collins and his weekly mistakes in coverage. Last year, when the team had Jeremy Reeves and Cam Curl back in coverage, we didn't have any of these, missed assignments and blown coverages in the secondary. It was tops in the league. Now that you have Landon Collins and Bobby McCain, who is, in Miami was a top-rated free safety. We're having so many miscommunications and blown coverages. So Jeremy Reeves is still out there. And give him a contract, bring him in, put him in practice squad. See if we can get him in the game and see if that can help spark this defense because something has to give sooner or later. If it's the play calling, the talent, the scheme, I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is right now, it's not working on a consistent basis. We've seen flashes, but we haven't seen anything consistent. We've seen consistent bad, excuse me, when it comes to coverages and miscommunications, because we've seen that every week. But now it's time to, it's week 6. The season will slip away very quickly with the next 3 games with Kansas City, Green Bay, and I believe Seattle. I gotta look at the schedule. Let's get into some of the numbers going into this game. Individually, Taylor Heineke is 102 for 159, 1,208 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but for 90.6 quarterback rating. Patrick Mahomes is 135 for 95, I'm sorry. 1,490 yards, 16 touchdowns, which leads the league, and 6 interceptions with a 106 quarterback rating. Running backs, Darrell Williams, Kansas City just lost their main running back. I forgot to write his name down. He went on our last week, I believe it was ACL. Their next second running back, I should say, is Darrell Williams. He has 26 carries, 99 yards with 3.81 yard average with 2 touchdowns. Antonio Gibson, 79 carries, 313 yards with 3.96 yard average and 3 touchdowns. Passing the ball, Tyreek Hill is their, multifaceted. The human joystick is basically his nickname, and I believe he lives up to that because he can score from practically anywhere on the field whenever you get the ball in his hands, running the ball, passing the ball, screens, whatever, punt returns, whatever. But Kelsey is Mahomes, one of his favorite targets when he can't get to Tariq Hill streaking down the field. He has 30 receptions, 369 yards, 12.3 yard average with 4 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin has 29 catches, 400 yards with 13.7 yard average and 3 touchdowns. And I know Terry is looking to rebound from the game last week. Not saying he was shut down, but Heineke missed some time when he was open, threw it behind him, threw it in front of him, and broke his 15-game streak of at least having 5 receptions and 60 yards. Not saying that he cares about that, but he's held up the end zone, so I know definitely he's going to be hungry to try to get some go in this game with these bad defenses and offenses that can move the ball and score when they everything is working properly for the Washington football team. Kansas City, we know what their offense can do. They can score from any and everywhere, and like I said, this game can get ugly very quickly if the Washington football defense doesn't handle their business. Let's get into the team stats. Offensively, Kansas City produces 426 yards a game, which is 6. Washington football team, 353, which is 24. Passing, 292 yards a game for Kansas City, which is 5th. 239 yards for Washington, which is 20th. Rushing, 128 yards for Kansas City, which is 7th in the league. Washington is at 108 yards a game, which is 16th in the league. Kansas City averages 30.8 points a game, which is 5th. Washington averages 24 points a game, which is 12th. Third down conversions. Kansas City is at 58%, which is first in the league. Washington's offense, 30%, which is 31st in the league. And we all know about the third down problems on defense. And you have the number one ranked third down offense coming into town. Like I said, the recipe, it's not looking good if this team doesn't play well. And it's this game is going to be interesting. First quarter is going to mean a lot in this game because Washington cannot afford to start out slow. We've seen them, wait till, well, I don't want to say wait till, but it take them until the second quarter or late in the first quarter in order to get things going offensively. They, last week was the first week the defense didn't give up a score on the first drive of the game. We know Kansas City is going to be looking to score on the first drive of the game. So, first quarter is going to be a pivotal view of what this game is going to look like. If the Washington football team can get off to a good start and hold, try to contain Kansas City, then okay, it might be an entertaining game that would be worth watching. But if they can't get their act together in the first quarter and Kansas City's just going up and down the field, I got a feeling a lot of folks are going to be going out and enjoying some of this beautiful weather today early because, nobody wants to see Washington get trounced again after we saw the Buffalo game. That was hard to watch, even though I did watch the whole thing. Defensively, Kansas City, like I said, both of these teams are bad defensively, statistically wise. They have talent, but they haven't put it together yet. We're optimistic that this team can get their defense together. Kansas City gives up 449 yards a game, which is 31st. Washington gives up 415, which is 27th. Kansas City gives up 56 yards a game, which is 25th. Washington gives up 253, which is 29th for Kansas City, 23rd, or 28th for the Washington football team. So they're right behind each other. Running the ball, rushing the ball, defense, 141 yards given up by Kansas City defense, which is 30th. 114 given up by Washington, which is 18th. Kansas City gives up 32.6 points a game, which is 32nd. Washington gives up 31 points a game, which is 31st. As I said, they are at the bottom of the league in both most statistical categories in the defense. third down conversions. Kansas City gives up 44%, which is 25th, and Washington gives up 56%, which is 31st. And note, I said Kansas City's third down conversions on offense is at 58%. So, yeah, this is going to be, yeah. Keys to victory. There's no reason even going into a lot of detail. It's basic. This is basic football to help try to keep this team in the game. Keep Kansas City's offense off the field, which means run the ball, third down conversions, converting on third down conversions, that is. Sometimes not getting the third down conversions if you can get a good first down play. But controlling the time of possession is going to be key to this game. The longer you can keep their offense off the field, the better chance this team has to getting the upset. And I hope Scott Turner is aware of that and tell us the game plan to run the ball more. I know Heineke, he likes the up-tempo, offense. I understand what you like, but up-tempo and going out on third downs is not a good combination. It definitely isn't helping out your defense. So I'm hoping that they have that figured out, that they want to slow down the tempo on offense, try to control the clock, and keep Kansas City's offense off the field. That's one of the best ways to eliminate them scoring, is not letting them have the ball. Defensively, as I said, get off the field on third downs. Make something happen. If they go to the quick passing game, defensive lineman, get your hands up. You know you're not going to get home when he does a 3-step or a 5-step drop. So when he takes that second or third step, boom, get them hands up. We saw it happen a couple of times against Heineke last week with New Orleans when we tried to go to our quick passing game on Cloran with the slants going across the middle and plays like that. And we saw several times the ball got batted down. So let's see that happen on the defensive side. Linebacker play definitely has to step up. Jamin Davis is only had 17 snaps last week. Hopefully he can get more. They need to just get him on the field. I know like I said, he's a first-year starter. I mean, he's a one-year starter in college. He has a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but he's still overthinking the game. Is pretty much what coach has said. He's thinking too much and not reacting, afraid to make a mistake. And he's not going 100 miles an hour. He'd rather see you go 100 miles an hour and make a mistake instead of, out there thinking and, making a mistake, not playing at your full potential. So hopefully he gets more snaps this week. The back end, teams are exploiting the secondary. They're putting them in position that they're running screens. I mean, they're running slants and crossing routes because they know our secondary isn't communicating properly. And they're exploiting it week in and week out. So I'm hoping they keep on talking about, we know we have to do, we know we have to get better, boom, boom, boom. We understand that, but we need to see the product on the field and not just hit a lip service. Because I know the fans are definitely getting tired of hearing it. I'm not necessarily saying I'm tired of hearing it, but you can't keep on saying it. It's week 6. You can't keep on repeating the same thing and expect a different result. You got to apply it on the field, and we're not seeing that. So I don't know if it's a disconnect in practice, disconnect there on the field of, people not communicating, people trying to do too much and not playing their role in the defense, because that's the number one way to ruin the defense. But like I said, I was watching some of the game tape from last year, and you can definitely see a difference in the defensive line and some of the play calls. I mean, like I said, we've seen them, they want to get 4-man pressure, all that, yada, yada, yada. But when you go back to the way they were getting pressure last year, they were blitzing, sending 5 or 6, sending 5, 2 on the outside and sending the middle line back up the middle. Those were the things that were working. But we have rarely seen that this year. And I think that's attributed because of the miscommunication on the back end, that Del Rio's afraid to call these blitzes because he wants more people in coverage to try to avoid the mistakes. But then you're running the soft zone with man corners that are used to playing man. Now you're trying to get them to play zone during the season against in live action, and that's, to me, that's asinine. If you picked up William Jackson, got St. Juice, who you've seen in college play a man game, up to the line, bump and run, but then 80% of the time you run in zone. I just don't understand it. Another key, no turnovers on offense. Heineke had 2 bad interceptions last week, 1 in the red zone. Can't give their offense any more opportunities to score points. And we have to score touchdowns, not field goals, because field goals ain't going to get it against this team. So they, like I said, offense, we've seen them, have flashes and had a couple of, decent games, putting up points and executing. That needs to come together today. Needs to happen again today. Defense, forced turnovers. Got to get some turnovers. This team is bottom of the league in turnover differential, and like I said, we got a couple of turnovers last week. Thanks, Winston. Appreciate that. But before that, they hadn't got an interception since week 1. So you got to force a turnover on defense. Got to make something happen. Swing the field position for the team. Get a crucial turnover when they're about to score something, or it's a third down. Need to get some turnovers to try to get the momentum and give the offense more opportunities and, good field position. We saw last week with the Saints kicker, punter, he pinned them deep within the 5-yard line 3 times in the second half when they were trying to come back. And when you have your goal line, right at your back, it's hard to do a 97-yard drive to go score a touchdown. So, yeah, field position is going to be key in this game also. Defense, communication on the back end, another key. Like I said, with this offense and Andy Reid calling the plays with this dynamic offense, can't afford any miscommunications this week at all. Any free points you give up is no go. But they definitely have to nip that in the bud. Hope they figured out what they need to figure out this week in practice, because can't afford any blown coverages and wide open receivers running down the field uncovered. Heineke, like I said, has to play better. No turnovers. Get back to the, making solid decisions. We know you're a gunslinger. We know you're going to, take some chances, but take smart chances. If you have a man open underneath and McLaurin is double covered, go to the open man underneath. You don't have to force the ball to Terry. I feel like that's what he was doing last week, trying to force the ball, trying to get him involved, which is cool. But when you have other players wide open in the flat for a quick 6-yard gain instead of you trying to force for double coverage for a 25, 30-yard gain, you got to go with a smart play. Simple as that. Let me think, what other keys? Now, that's pretty much, the keys for, I'm not even going to say victory, keys for survival and possible victory in this game. Because, Kansas City's going to be, looking to get back on the winning ways. Both teams looking to get back to 500. So tune in. Kickoffs at 1 o'clock. We already have some players that are out for the Washington football team. And I'm about to pull it up now. I know Cam Sims is out. Brandon Sheriff is out. Looks like they're going to elevate Gandy Golden to the active roster today. Diami Brown is questionable. Here we go. Yeah, Cosme is out. Jared Norris is out. Samuel is out. Sheriff is out. Sims is out. Brown is questionable. Gibson is questionable. McLaurin is questionable. And Reyes is questionable. So inactives will be out probably about another hour or so. So when they come out, I'll post that to see who the inactives are. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a interesting game for this Washington football team. If they can get their act together and get back to winning ways and get back to 500. And some of these groups be killing me. I'm going to take my post down. Oh, well. Yeah. Make sure you check out post-game show 25 minutes after the game. Be streaming live at the Bar Radio. Then don't forget to tune in for 6 o'clock for our At the Bar Radio. We'll be breaking down some of the game. We'll also be talking current events, politics, entertainment news and independent music as always. Playing the best independent videos around worldwide, not just local. Just to let you know, we have folks singing this music from all over the place, all over the world. So if you have anything that you want to get out there in the world, please send it to us. We'll play it, critique it, and put it out there for the world to hear. And make sure y'all keep checking out sportsothp.com. We appreciate all the love, all the support, all the folks coming through. I hope you checked out the interview I had on Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night with Gabe Taylor, Sean Taylor's little brother. We talked about the retirement ceremony of his brother's number. Talked about his playing career down at Rice University. Actually, they had a game yesterday, and I forgot to check the score on it. You know, I'm not a big college guy, but I'm gonna check and see. They were going up against an undefeated team. University of Texas, San Antonio. They were 6-0. Rice was 2-3. Looking to try to even their record, and I'm gonna find the score. Where'd it go? Check here yesterday. Checked it. Wow. Unfortunately, they got shut out 45-0. But Texas San Antonio was a part of the opponent, top in the division, and hopefully they have better luck next week. But you can check out the interview with him. It's about a 30-minute interview. He was on the road getting ready for that game. And it's on our YouTube channel. You can check that out at Carol Porter III. That's with 3 eyes. I mean, Carol Porter, with 3 eyes, no RD. Or you just go to YouTube and put in CP3, Carol Porter III, to come up. Make sure you gotta love technology sometimes. All right. But I'm about to get out of here. Appreciate y'all checking me out, tuning in for the pregame show. Like I said, post-game show 25 minutes after the game, and then at the Bar Radio tomorrow night. Sports on the podcast on True Radio Network starting at 9 o'clock. As always, we'll be breaking down the Washington Capitals start to the season. They took a loss yesterday, overtime loss to the defending champion Tampa Bay. They're 1-0-1 to start the season out. Myself and Anna will break that down in the first half hour. Then in the second half hour, or bottom of the hour, we'll be discussing the Washington football team and the results of this game. And I have to get in touch with the NBA Roundtable, but I believe the NBA started, so we have the NBA Roundtable on also to break down the Wizards. Last time I checked, I think they were 0-5 or 0-6, so yeah, not a good start to the season. But we'll definitely have them on to break it down. And make sure you check us out. DC Sports about the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. CP3, live from the lab, and I'm out.
Money. Money. I love that money.
Lucas.
Money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut him mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say. Stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make you shut him mouth.